It all happened so fast, and in such a short time. Dr. Robotnik's defeat, the Iron Dominion, Geoffrey's betrayal, and Nogus's return. But that's nothing compared to what came after. The new Death Egg. Hero of Mobius, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Princess of the Acorn Kingdom, Sally Acorn, alongside myself, Nicole the HoloLinks, advanced AI and city system to New Mobotropolis. The three of us infiltrated the flying fortress, but we played right into Robotnik's hands. I watched in the hands of Sally, Sonic fight the metal copy of himself, known as Silver Sonic, while Robotnik taunted her. She made the choice to pursue him and go ahead of Sonic, but she fell right into a trap. The next thing I know, Sally gets gunned down from a hidden turret. As she falls onto the ground, I hear Sonic in the distance screaming her name.
Sally!
It was the last thing I heard before everything faded to white. I've been sitting here ever since, unknown for how long. I thought I would have run out of power by now. However, it has stayed the same this entire time. It is almost as if time itself had stopped. All I know is I am alone, trapped in my PDA, unable to project my Mobian form. I have no means of escape or a way to move from my current position. All I can do is wait and have hope, as Sally would say. As I ponder to myself, suddenly, a giant rift opens up. A monster, shrouded in darkness, emerges in the sky before me. What is that? The monster flies through the sky, the area around my PDA starting to rumble. Forming from the white void is a familiar sight. New Mobotropolis. Is this? I say to myself as my eyes fill with hope. As I survey my surroundings to confirm, suddenly my circuits spark, backlighting my screen. My battery has come back online, and my connections to New Mobotropolis seem to have returned. However, it is weaker than normal. If this is truly New Mobotropolis, maybe I can... I close my eyes, attempting to tap into the city network. The signal is just strong enough for me to access my nanites, allowing me to take on my Mobian form. Upon my revelation, I activate my nanites to form a Mobian body that looks like a lynx. As it forms, I feel the sensation of what I can guess is sand flying through the wind. All my nanites start to take my form, starting all the way from my legs up to my face as the nanites harden into glass and make myself tangible. This is my only way of understanding what it feels like to be alive. I stand up with PDA in hand and say to myself, I'm finally free. But where's... I look up into the skies of what seems to be New Mobotropolis to see the Death Egg, devoid of color. I need to get up there and find out what's going on. But as I start moving towards it in desperation, I realize I have no means to get up there. It pains me to admit that. I need to make sure Sally's okay after the horror I witnessed. But the logical course of action I can take is to find out what happened to the city I am sworn to protect. The first step I should take is to access the city's network to see if I can transport elsewhere. But as I try to, I feel a shock through my system. From what I can assess, I don't have enough power to travel around like I usually do. It seems like I'll have to get around the old-fashioned way, I say to myself shakily as I start to search the city on foot. Walking through the city, everything truly is devoid of color. Homes, buildings, and even the Lake of Rings are covered in nothing but white. I have been wandering for a while, with no one in sight. I need to find help. I can't do this by myself. Sonic, Sally, please hold on. I will get to the bottom of this. But as I reassured myself, I finally found someone else. Frozen like stone in front of me is the singing star of New Mobotropolis, Mina Mongoose. I look closely, seeing the fear in her face. A deep pang of sadness washes over me as I think about myself and the mongoose frozen and devoid of color in front of me. After what happened with the Iron Dominion and being hijacked by the Iron Queen, Mina started advocating for my removal. She is afraid of me, as most of New Mobotropolis is. As the protector of the city, I overhear what civilians say sometimes.
She's going to hurt us!
What happens if she goes rogue with all that power?
We're all doomed if action isn't taken against her.
Despite my hurt, it is not the proper time to lament it. I need to analyze what I am looking at. I try using the city's network, but I feel the shock through my system once more. I must try to investigate the old-fashioned way, with my hands. As I reach out and touch her forehead, a surge of light energy suddenly starts to envelope the stone statue of Mina, almost blinding my optics. As the light fades, color starts to envelope the statue. I can barely believe it, but falling to the ground before me is... Mina! I scream as I go to catch her. Are you okay? At the sound of my voice, Mina opens her eyes to see me and jumps a little at the HoloLink's form.
Nicole?
Mina exclaims in return, confusion written all over her face. I see Mina leave my current grip and start to get her own footing. She starts to look around, shocked at her current environment, as I am. In a state of panic, Mina turns to me, hoping for some sort of explanation.
What happened to New Mobotropolis?
Mina says panicked.
Where is everyone?
I look to my side, as I wish I had the answer to that question. I can only answer this one way, and as the city system, it is concerning. I don't know. Mina looks at me confused, as she was expecting an answer.
What do you mean you don't know?
She exclaims towards me. It means I don't know, I exclaim back. I was last with Sonic and Sally, and... As I start that sentence, my knees feel weak and my eyes start to swell. I am no longer alone, and I had been for who knows how long. Knowing this and seeing what happened on the Death Egg, I can't hold it any longer as tears start to burst out from my eyes.
Nicole, what happened on the Death Egg?
I look back up at her as I try to compose myself to answer her question. You may want to sit down. I sigh sharply as I proceed to explain what happened on the Death Egg to Mina. I just hope she can take it better than I.
I sit here, trying to keep myself together with the horrifying news that is being laid out in front of me. Nicole, the protector of the city, explains to me what happened in the skies of New Mobotropolis. From what I can tell... So, Sally is... I say shakily as I try to keep myself together.
I'm not sure.
She sniffles.
But as she would do, I'm holding on to the hope that she is alive, but critically injured.
Nicole then looks to the side, unsure of herself. Something I haven't seen before. She speaks once more.
Even then, I hope she'll hang in there.
As I try to swallow what Nicole has told me, I look up towards the Death Egg. It occurs to me that Nicole mentioned she was last with Sonic and Sally. Do you know where the two of them are? Nicole follows my gaze, looking up at the sky towards the Death Egg. I look back down to see her eyes closed and tucked into her knees.
I have no whereabouts on either of them. Their communication links have been severed.
It's hard to look at Nicole with her defeated face, looking lost on what to do. She's the advanced AI of the city. She should know everything. Despite what happened, as the singing star of New Mobotropolis, my music is used to bring hope and spirit. I have to keep that brave face on, even if I'm scared. It's hard to look at Nicole with her defeated face, looking lost on what to do. She's the advanced AI of the city. She should know everything. Despite what happened, as the singing star of New Mobotropolis, my music is used to bring hope and spirit. I have to keep that brave face on, even if I'm scared. I take a deep breath and compose myself as I say to Nicole, "Well, neither of us will get answers standing here, so let's try and look around." Nicole then looks up towards me. She has a shocked look on her face.
Us? I thought that...
Recalling the memory of Nicole's time as Iron Nicole still sends shivers down my spine. But I also believe that if she was the only one who escaped, it would be best to work together, even in dire circumstances, in the hopes of finding our friends safe and sound in Good Hope. Or as these statues at worst. It's a for later thing that we can hopefully fix. "We can discuss that later," I said to her. "Right now, we need answers. I know as a freedom fighter, even you realize that."
Yes, I do. Let's get started on our search.
Nicole, pushing through her emotions from what I can tell, starts to get up and compose herself. "Any idea on where to look?" I ask, glancing around the city we call home, devoid of life and color.
I'd like to find additional assistance. I am unaware of the other freedom fighters' whereabouts.
Nicole mentions before her face lights up.
However, there is one where we know who might be able to help.
Nicole then points towards Castle Acorn. I was confused for a brief second, but I quickly realized just who Nicole was referring to, relieved that if anything, the answers lied there. "The Council!" I said hopefully. Nicole nods, and with a determined look on her face, motions with a confident.
Let's move.
We start to move towards Castle Acorn with a sense of optimism. But will that optimism last? Whatever awaits us when we arrive at Castle Acorn, we can only hope it'll be in our favor.